Well, unfortunately, Monday's complimentary play on the Celtics failed to get there. They were laying 11.5. They only beat the lowly Memphis Grizzlies by 11. So instead, for today's complimentary play, it's back to college hoops, where I'm going to take a look at the Atlantic 10 game, a good one. Second place at stake when Davidson visits St. Bonaventure. That's coming up in just a moment. In terms of who's hot, let's talk a little NHL. Dom Chambers going for NHL winner number 19 out of 25, the second biggest play of his career tonight. 50-dime NHL winner number 8 in a row. It's another underdog release. You get it for over half price off once again by using coupon code DOM. The last three 50-dime plays. $1.20 underdog on the puck line, $1.45 underdog on the puck line, $1.30 dog on the puck line. Also, Eric Schrader. Last night, yet another 100-dime college basketball winner, an underdog that won outright. His Colonial Conference Game of the Year, James Madison, a 4-point underdog, winning outright over Elon. Quick, give me the nickname of the Elon team. Quick, even better, tell me where Elon is located. What state? Cue up the Jeopardy music. You don't hear the music either, do you? Yes, because we don't have any production values here. Elon is in North Carolina, the Elon Phoenix. I know, you just couldn't go through the rest of the day without knowing that. Tonight, Patriot League Game of the Year, American and Lafayette. Another top-rated 100-dime play as he goes for winning day number 16 out of 23 and 31 out of 49. A stretch the past 48 days where $10 bettors have made a little over $11,300. You get it for over half price off by using coupon code ERIC. And Matt Rivers. Blank check college basketball winner number 8 out of 11 this season. Good game in the Big 12. Oklahoma and Baylor. One team on the outside of the bubble, that being the Sooners. The other team right on the bubble. They had worked their way off the bubble a little bit, winning 5 straight games, but then they've lost their last 2 to West Virginia at home, and then at oh, God, who did they just lose to? Let's see, they lost at home to West Virginia, and then was it TCU? I think it was TCU. It was TCU on the road. So anyway, that's a good game, and you get it for over half price off by using coupon code blank, just like all the other previous plays that he had that were blank check selections. Let's get to this complimentary play. So what has happened here with St. Bonaventure? Of course, a couple weeks ago, they had that big game. It was a Friday night game. I gave you St. Bonaventure as a 2-point underdog, and they snapped Rhode Island's 16-game winning streak. And if there was a time for the Bonnies to have a letdown, it was naturally the next couple of games because that was a big revenge game. Rhode Island, of course, had won like 21 straight conference games. They'd won 16 straight games overall, but they pulled off the last-minute upset in that game. Their next 2 games, they did not play great. Struggled at home against Duquesne, a bad Duquesne team, but they got the win 73-67. Then they went on the road to take on VCU, and they beat the Rams 68-63 in that one. So they got the job done. Well, now they're at home. Excuse me. They're at home tonight. They're laying 2 points at home against Davidson. Now, first time they met, and where's Davidson? In North Carolina. Davidson won that game on January 19th, 83-73. Since that first game, St. Bonaventure has reeled off 10 straight wins. Now, what happened in that first game? They could not control Peyton Aldridge, who is the league's number 3 scorer in the Atlantic 10. The 6'8 senior had 25 points in that game, 7 for 11 shooting. A couple of other guys had double-digit games as well for Davidson. The team hit 14 three-pointers. Now, they average 11 three-pointers a game, but Davidson also shot 53% in that game. St. Bonaventure only shot 40%. So, obviously, key in this contest is Bonaventure has to play better defense, and I think they can and they will here tonight, especially since they're playing at home. Because, listen, St. Bonaventure is number 2 in the Atlantic 10 in terms of defending against the 3-ball, holding opponents to just 32% on the season. But again, in the first game playing at home, Davidson not only hit 14 threes, but they cashed at a 53% percent clip with those 3 balls as well. They're 8-0 at home in conference play. It's senior night. Of course, especially for their backcourt, Jalen Adams and Matt Mobley. This is the winningest class in St. Bonaventure history. The only reason that I didn't use St. Bonaventure as my best bet, and instead I turned to the NBA tonight for the game between Philadelphia and Miami, is that when they beat Rhode Island, they only shot 38.1%. And they were lucky to beat Rhode Island because Rhode Island shot 43% in that game. But down the stretch, in the final few minutes of that game, Rhode Island just hit a cold stretch. And St. Bonaventure got a couple of key stops, and they were able to pull that game out. This Davidson team is a good offensive team. They're 5-2 on the conference road. Still, I'm going to go with St. Bonaventure in revenge, laying the 2 points. I do think they are the way to go. Now, speaking of Rhode Island, I looked at them tonight. Also, senior night for the Rams, who just destroyed Dayton 81-56 on Friday. They're taking on a St. Joe's team that needs to win tonight to keep their hopes alive to finish fourth in the conference and earn that double bye in the opening round and to avoid the play-in game. And the Hawks have won 4 of their last 5, and they're coming off a 72-70 win at Richmond on Saturday. It's a big number. A big number for Rhode Island. I think they could win it, but I lean a little more toward the underdog in that game. So I'm not going to venture a play on that one. So instead, I'm just going to stick with the complimentary play on St. Bonaventure. Wish you well, and talk to you again tomorrow.